Good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems. Want to welcome you here to our webinar this afternoon. Today, what we're going to talk about with you is how to overcome your fear of starting a new business. A little bit about American Business Systems. ABS has been around for the last 26 years. It is growing. It is growing actually in some of the services. So those that are on here, you're going to get to hear firsthand some of the information that we're going to share with you about some of the great upcoming services that ABS is coming out with here in 2021. Folks, can you believe this year's just about over? And I think everybody's ready for 2020 to be over and get started with a new year. And so there's nothing better that you could do than getting started in a new year than starting a new business. And so again, we're going to be talking with you about how to overcome possibly any fears that you might have as you kind of get things started here. Again, my name is Eric Auger. I've been with Patrick for now going on 13 years. He and we met 14 years ago. I've helped him in all different types of capacities. A lot has been done in the development of the webinars, and so I do a lot of research and development for American Business Systems, and I'm proud to announce that we are, like I said, actually bringing on some new services for you as a licensee that's going to expand what you do here outside of just medical billing. So you're going to get a lot out of it this afternoon. Folks, we've helped folks over the last 26 years, from people from coast to coast, all different backgrounds, all different walks of life. So don't make it a fear of going, man, I don't know if I'm as good as anybody else, or my background doesn't set well with me getting into medical billing or in medical revenue cycle management. Folks, we're going to talk about that and kind of help squash some of that fear a little bit as we kind of go through this. The center of everything is the iClaim and EMRX platform. It is the long-standing platform that we've been utilizing for quite some time. It is a live cloud-based. You're going to see a little bit about that as we talk about that this afternoon. So again, feel free to ask me any questions about the iClaim system, the EMRX system, how it's being used on many different platforms. So you don't have to be just an Apple user or a Windows user or a iPhone user or an Android user. I mean, it is across the platform. You can be able to access it at any particular time. And folks, if any of you as entrepreneurs have started any particular business, the biggest thing that you're always concerned about is how I know that this business is actually going to work for me. I'll share with you exactly what Patrick Phillips would say to you if he were on here today. He would say that medical billing is not for everybody. We understand that just as much as, building houses is not for everybody, or, cleaning houses is not for everybody. And obviously not everybody's a doctor. So not everybody's an attorney. Not everybody's a school teacher. So, what fits well with you? But as you are looking and as you're exploring your areas of entrepreneurship, obviously something's kind of keyed you in over here to think, well, let's talk about this medical billing or revenue cycle management, as we're going to be talking about. So folks, what you're going to hear from me this afternoon is what can you do to help impact that doctor's bottom line, which is their financial world. You can imagine this last year, everybody's been impacted to some degree financially with their business, whether they are a restaurant. We know a lot of restaurants that have gone out of business. So I don't know if the restaurant business as an entrepreneur is the best thing to go into. A lot of the other types of services that depend upon you working with individual people, like maybe, again, starting a business of cleaning the house or doing anything, construction or anything else like that. Again, you're having to deal with the individual family or the individual that, your market kind of starts to close in. So what can give you the biggest impact? Well, first of all, we know that this market is not going away whenever it comes to medicine. Healthcare in America is a huge booming business. It's booming because we have 10,000 plus citizens here in the United States that are turning 65. What that means is that they get opportunities to go to the doctor more often. And because there's an influx of more people going to see doctors, obviously that increases the business for the doctors to bill more. And so whenever you've got that going on, combined with, again, an older population, and those older populations, as you'll hear me talk about here briefly, those older population having more chronic diseases, they're going to need to go to the doctor more often. But again, it's just not just the older people. There's a lot of illnesses that are going on in here in the United States. Obviously, we've got COVID that we're faced with, and then the challenges of you actually going to see the doctor. What are you going to do differently about that on a personal level? Well, what ABS has done, it has kind of peeked in the future a little bit to see where everything's going. Obviously, we know that telemedicine is going to be around for a while. Billing has to keep going on. How to overcome your fear of getting started in a new business? Well, one of the things that makes people have any issues about getting started in a new business is mistakes. What are the mistakes that people may end up making that's going to cause them to fail in a business? So what I've done here in today's presentation, I've taken 10 most frequent mistakes that people end up making that gets them, instead of putting them on a path of success, it puts them on a path to just ending up in failure. So what do we know about medical billing? And what do we know about trying to figure out which way to go? Well, let me tell you one way. Mistake number one is spending a lot of time and money on what's called technical aspects. Let me share with you about that. Because a lot of you on the call are thinking, do I need to go get a degree in medical billing? Do I need to go get a degree as a professional coder, medical codes? Do I need to go to any of the technical schools that are out there? Let me answer that question to you real briefly. You don't have to do that. And let me tell you why. It's because for the last 26 years, ABS has created a support mechanism system that is internal and external to ABS. One is internal because we have an incredible support team that's going to help you with all aspects, whether it's coding, whether it's billing, whether you're having to work with a particular doctor that's a specialist, let's say an endocrinologist or a cardiologist, or just a regular practice primary care physician. There's not any physician specialty that's out there where someone as a licensee or somebody here in support hasn't helped do billing for. So what you have is this incredible network of ABS support and licensees people that can help you and get you caught up real quickly on how to bill for a specific specialty. Now, I know a lot of you are worried about possibly this whole coding thing. Do you have to go to a coding school? Because the first thing out of most people's mouths or in their thoughts is, gosh, do I need to get a coding degree? Well, we're not going to have time to do a demonstration of the software, but if you'll take some time, call the individual that you've been working with here at ABS and say, Eric said to get a live demo of the iClaim system. I'm going to tell you why you want to do that, because it's through there you're going to find out that the codes are already built into the system. Now, I'm going to share a little bit about it here in a little bit on when I share some screenshots of the electronic medical records. Let me kind of paint the picture for you. The iClaim system is a full mechanism system that's very unique and it's very uniquely built. Now, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I want to try to help you here understand why you don't need to go spend time and money on technical aspects, because that's all been done. So there are four main components of our billing system. Obviously, the first one is iClaim. That's the billing system, or what you think of as what's called the practice management system. That's how that practice runs their office, and that's how you're going to do the billing. The second part of it is the electronic medical records part of it, the EMR. That's why we call it EMRX. That's where the doctor is seeing the patient, asking the questions to the patient. Why did you come in today? Well, I come in because I've got a sore throat or, excuse me, a cough or whatever it might be. And the doctor is going to diagnose that. Well, when the doctor diagnoses you as a patient for whatever your illness might be, well, they're going to put that, not just write down, oh, Eric has a cough. The doctor's going to write down Eric has a diagnosis of R05. Well, that may not mean anything to you, but in the system, it says that Eric's got a cough. Okay, so that's what's called a diagnosis code. So what's going to happen here is that the doctor's actually doing the coding through the electronic medical record system, because the doctor could actually type in call, and it's going to come up with the proper diagnosis code that the doctor's going to choose, and they're going to click on that, and that code is now captured. Then, after they get through diagnosing you, they're going to do what's called a procedure code. And that's how long the doctor spent with you. Did they give you an injection? Did they do any other type of diagnosing procedures that they needed to get to? And then they're going to have a collection of what's called procedure codes. Now, those procedure codes is where the money part of it comes in. How much is the doctor going to need to get paid for that particular visit? That's called the procedure code. Well, guess what? The doctor says, well, I spent 15 minutes with Eric, and I gave Eric an injection, and it all pulls up in there, and the doctor again gets to select the proper procedure code within EMRS. Well, guess what? Practically, folks, all the billing has already been done for you, because the doctor's giving you the diagnosis code, the doctor's giving you the procedure code, and any other procedures that are in there. And guess what? All you got to do at that point, the doctor's going to select that, send that over to you for billing, and then you're going to process it. You're going to do some other things there that we're going to teach you in the training class. All that to say, all the codes are built in there. All the codes are already in there. The fee schedules are in there. So you really don't need to have time to go out there and go do all that, because again, you're going to learn all of that in your online training. So there's no need to go spend time at a technical school for medical billing. You don't need to go spend time at a coding school to go learn coding, or to get a 2.5-year degree as a certified professional coder. All of that information is going to be done inside the system, and we're going to show you how to do it. If you do, however, come across a doctor that has, gosh, a specific area that you might need a little help with, that's why we have some of these other services called CodeWrite or Audit Guard, or if nothing else, call the support line. That's why we're here. We're going to help you and get you in touch with the right person. Okay, so Urban's asking a question. Is that a service extra cost to the licensee? Great question, Irving. No, that's all part of your cost here. That's your part of your investment here. So that's everything that I'm talking to you about is all actually included. So you don't have to go to another school. You don't have to go get anything else. Everything is right there at your fingertips. So that's number one, overcoming your fear, to let you know that these things are already in the system, and we're also here to help support you in that area. The second mistake that a lot of people make in creating their own fear as they get started in a new business is choosing the wrong technology. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little secret here. You do not need ABS to get started in medical billing. Now, you're probably going to think, oh my gosh, what did he just say? You could go anywhere you wanted to, is what I'm saying. You could go out on the internet and you can go find any medical billing software out there. Doesn't mean that you're going to have all the components, though, that ABS has to bring. We've had a lot of people say, you know what, I've got my own billing system. I want to go do it on my own, go try it. And then what happens is they finally come back to ABS and go, you know what, I bought some software I probably shouldn't have bought. I didn't have all the marketing pieces. I certainly didn't have the support mechanisms. We even had people that have been professional coders. We've had people that have actually owned their own medical billing companies come in and be a part of ABS because of all of the systems. That's what American Business Systems is all about. We have all of the systems together. But a lot of times people choose the wrong technology. Folks, if you remember just a few years ago, that your computers that you used to have a place where you could put a CD. Remember those little discs that you could put in there and run software and do everything else that you could do. You don't even have DVDs to load software. Every software that I have on my computer right now, I've downloaded or I've got it in the cloud. So I don't have to load software. I don't have to lose software. I don't have to wait for updates or patches or anything else like that. And that's what happens with a lot of billing services and a lot of EHRs that are electronic medical records platforms that are out there. And then if you get two separate types of systems that are out there made by different manufacturers or different, software development companies, you may have one really great EMR system and a really good practice management system, but it doesn't mean that those are compatible together. So guess what? Those aren't going to work either. Then on top of that, you may have to go out and choose your own clearinghouse. All right, so you can kind of see where I'm going. Now you've got a ton of work that you got to try to pull all these together, make sure they're all working together, and then making sure that you have chosen the right clearinghouse. Irvin's asking something about a clearinghouse. Let me see. Let me see what his question is. Is the clearinghouse embedded in the software, or is it an option to choose? Great question, Irvin. You're going to see that here in a moment, but ours is actually built into it, and I'll show you why that's even better. So here you go. So let's take a look at this. So choosing the wrong technology can really start you off on the wrong foot. And again, that will embed a lot of fear as you're starting a new business. So we try to eliminate the most fear that you can by choosing the right technology. Over here, you see that over here where it says patient, you can see that there's a little screenshot there of the patient portal to the iClaim system. It's not a separate patient portal. It's built inside the system. Down below, you see it's for the doctor. That's the EMR system. It's built inside of the system. Then you have iClaim. That's the practice management system and the billing system. That's already there. And then lastly, as Irvin's asking, is the clearinghouse embedded? The clearinghouse is actually embedded into the system. Let me tell you why that's important. Some people might tell you that, man, if you can't choose your own clearinghouse, you're barking up the wrong tree. I'll tell you, being in the business for as long as I have in this field, I would not want to choose another clearinghouse outside of the one that is here with the iClaim system. I'll tell you why. Because there's no other group of people that are using the iClaim clearinghouse. It's not like ABC medical billing company that's across the street from me can tap into this clearinghouse. They may use Trizetto, they may use a different one out there, and that's being accessed by a lot of different companies, even maybe with some hospital systems or some clinics or some facilities. But the only people that are going to use the iClaim system are the people that are actually on iClaim. Well, guess what? You don't have as much traffic, which means that your claims are going to get out the door quicker. Plus, because the clearinghouse is built inside the billing system, you're able to scrub your claims in real time. So you're not having to send your claims from the system to go to some third-party clearinghouse, only then to get scrubbed. And if there's a problem with that claim, for you to have to get it fixed back in your system a day or two later. If there's a problem with the claim, you're going to know it then. So you're going to be able to fix it now. So that when you make your claims here and you're going to go through the clearinghouse, the only place that it's going to go to are the insurance companies. Logically, that's the best way to do it. Your claim doesn't get lost. It doesn't get shuffled around. You don't get it back 2 or 3 days later if there's an error with the claim itself. You're going to be able to fix anything and everything in real time. Get it out. Well, what does that mean to you? Well, first of all, you've got a much higher rate of clean claims. Ours is 98%, which means our rejection rate is less than 2%. So imagine getting 98% of those claims out clean the first time. The other thing it helps you with is that your rejections are not getting lost out there and then delayed. So getting those to the insurance companies within 24 hours, that's helping you get paid quicker because the doctors are getting paid quicker. So you can kind of see that ABS has this complete system. So you can see by choosing the wrong technology out there, that could be a big problem already. Okay. So you want to separate yourself from all others. And listen, you don't want a system where you have to, again, keep loading software and making sure that you have it all updated. You want everything in the cloud, get everything in the cloud. I mean, anything, everything. Microsoft Word is in the cloud. Adobe, all of their software is in the cloud now. You got everything you need from Google. Everything's out there is in the cloud. Why? It's because it's called, some of you already may know this, but it's software as a service. So you got software as a service, which means you don't have to do all the updates, all the patches, or anything else. It just happens, and you can pull it up from any operating system that's out there, whether, again, it's Mac or whether it's Windows. It's all out there. So again, we've got the right billing system. We've got the right EMR system. We've got the right patient portal system. And folks, again, because of that, prior to COVID, now remember this, folks, prior to COVID, we already had a telehealth program and we did not have to change anything for any of our doctors. You talk about being able to be ahead of the game This was the technology that helped us and helped a lot of our licensees be out there in front. And some of the doctors that were actually being used by some of our medical billing companies here at ABS didn't miss a beat because the EMRX platform already had baked into it its own telehealth platform. So again, folks, you choosing the wrong technology can strike a little bit of fear into you if you don't know really what's going on. That's why ABS has said, look, we've got the right system for you. You know, we want to get you out on the right foot. We want to make sure that you're pointed in the right direction. We're here to support you and get all that in there. Let me see if there's any other questions that that I can answer here. Let's see. Okay, there's someone was just saying that they were having a problem with their internet there. All right, mistake number 3. How to overcome your fear in starting a new business. Well, listen, if you don't have a good support system, right off the bat, you're going to be in fear. And imagine going into a battle or anything else like that, and you don't have the right support system, or you're a firefighter and you don't have the right equipment. Whatever you've got going on, that I got to turn my phone off here. Let me get that. There we go. If you don't have the right support system, what are you going to do? I mean, that enough right there will strike fear into you. Let me tell you one of the things that ABS has done very well. When I first got here 13 years ago, this was probably one of our weakest areas that we got here or had here. And over the years, Patrick and the rest of the team here has really invested a lot of time in support. And we've created what we think is the top-notch support system out there for yourself as an entrepreneur. You've got people that you can speak to. You've got licensees that will work with you. You've got an incredible support team here. You've got a licensee support site. You need a support system that's actually going to work. Now, I mentioned to you about the licensee support system or the licensee support site. Our licensee support site has literally thousands of hours of time built into this, whether it's training material, whether it's videos, whether it's all of the marketing material, the tools that go along with it, anything and everything you have at your fingertips is right online again. Then the support system that's out there within the ABS network of licensees out there. Again, there's not going to be a doctor that you're going to run into that you are going to go, gosh, I really want to do billing for this particular doctor, but I don't know what to do or how to do it. We're going to help you with that. So you need a really good support team. Let me make sure that that I'm not missing any questions here. Okay, here's another question. If the doctor does not have the time to update or overhaul their support system, how adaptive is ABS's with pulling in the correct billing information to process, or do they have to overhaul and use the ABS system? Okay, so let's talk about that. It kind of goes back to the software, but to guarantee the doctor to get those numbers at 98% acceptance rate or less than 2% rejection rates, they really need to be on the system. It's not that you can just go do the billing and guarantee those numbers trying to use the doctor's software. So pulling that information, though, from their older system and inputting it into the ABS system is very easily done. And that we got the entire support team on the back end of support for that doctor. I mean, we'll be able to help you out there. So hopefully that answers your question there. But again, you need, getting back to this point here, you really need a great support system as you get kicked off. The way that the first support system works is, again, the training that you're going to get. So I think it's up to 28 to 30 hours of training that you're going to get online, the help that you're going to get there, and then when you get transferred from there to support, the support mechanisms that you have there. Here, let me share with you one thing that was added a couple of years ago in support, and it was right before, again, COVID happened this year. So you talk about ABS being a little bit ahead of the curve here. We know that when COVID happened earlier this year, a lot of the one-on-one marketing with doctors, maybe going to see them at lunches or doing stuff like that, you know, more the face-to-face stuff. It was decided a little bit last year that, first of all, that we were going to take our training online. So that's tremendously a tremendous help right there. But the other thing we started to do were we kind of coined it done for you webinars. Now let me tell you what that is. Okay, so today everybody that's on the call today, Cynthia, Donald, Bernadette, Irving, Stephen, the rest of you group here, you're on what's called a webinar today. We're making the presentation. We're the subject matter experts. We're here to help you. We're here to coach you. We're here to help answer your questions. How about if you had this same type of subject matter experts being able to do webinars for you, for your doctors? So let's say that you need a webinar on telehealth. Let's say that you need a webinar done for coding. Let's say you need a webinar done on virtual care. That's one of the new areas that I'm going to talk with you about here in a moment. What if you need webinars specifically for things that the doctors need? And all you have to do is invite your doctor list to these webinars. We can handle that. That's a support mechanism that you're not going to get anywhere else out there in the marketplace whenever it comes to revenue cycle management. There's maybe a competitor or two out there that will help you with some training. They'll even try to give you the right software. They'll do anything and everything. But one thing that we're doing to separate ourselves from everybody else is supporting our licensees and providing them subject matter expert webinars out there, just like what we're doing. So not only are we doing that on a regular basis for you to go market, but we're also doing every other week or once or twice a month or so, we're doing additional support webinars for our licensees, and those actually happen on Friday. The reason I know that is I was on one last Friday sharing some new information on some new services that, again, that is going to blow your mind. And we're actually going to, Patrick and I are going to take some time here in the next couple of weeks and share with you with just about 2.5 doctors on just that one program, how you can actually get a return on your investment here with ABS. That's pretty incredible. So we're going to show you that. But anyway, getting to the support network part of all of this, that's what you're going to need help with. Anybody have any questions about support? Let's see. Yes, we've got, so Cynthia's asking, so do we need to have a certificate for the billing and coding? I've completed school, but waiting to take my test. Cynthia, I think you kind of came in a little bit late there, but we were just talking about that. It's good that you've taken those classes. Those are great, but we're actually going to certify you here through the program as a certified medical revenue manager. That comes at the end of your training here. But it's good that you've had some training there, but wasn't necessarily needed. But it doesn't hurt you at all. Irving's saying, talking about support, how does ABS help you with getting that first client? As this is the challenge. You bet. Now, again, all these different services are going to help you with that. So, Irving, if you don't mind, I'm going to get through the next couple of these other things here, and I'm going to share with you hopefully how to answer that question. All right, mistake number 4 in the fear, eliminating this fear about starting a new business is having to deal with third-party suppliers and support companies. Now, what do I mean by that? Remember earlier I mentioned to you about the clearinghouse. If you've got a clearinghouse, that means that you would have to go out there and find your own clearinghouse, make sure that those clearinghouses are set up with each of those individual payers out there that you want to make sure that the doctor gets paid on. So here's one, Blue Cross Blue Shield. You can know what I mean there. But with ours, our clearinghouse is built inside of our system. So you don't have to go, do your own due diligence and try to find a proper clearinghouse that's going to work for you, properly give you the proper reporting that you're going to need, because all the reports are going to be built up in here. So for those of you who are brand new to revenue cycle management, let me kind of tell you a little bit what a clearinghouse does. So a clearinghouse will take the claims that you build for the doctor, and they're going to make sure that it's all formatted for all of each of the individual insurance companies that are out there. So imagine you trying to do that for every individual insurance company that's out there. You'd get lost. Any of us would get lost. We want simplified solutions, and our built-in clearinghouse will actually do that. So let's talk about what our clearinghouse does. Our clearinghouse is, again, a direct portal directly to the insurance company. The clearinghouse also catches these errors first and prompts you to make corrections before you submit them to the payers. This provides you a very unique difference in the market than with other medical billing services simply due to the lower rejections and expedited reimbursements. So what that means is to you, you don't have to go out there and go try to find your own clearinghouse. You don't need to go do that. It's all built in, and it's going to give you a very unique difference here. Let me check my time here. Oh, we got about 30 more minutes to go, and we're almost about halfway through. All right, Irving, I think I'm going to be getting into your areas of asking about the support and getting that first client here in the next couple of sections that we have here. Mistake number 5, how to overcome your fear with starting a new business. If any of you have ever started a new business, I remember even in my younger years, at one time I actually started a business in house cleaning. And one of the biggest challenges that I had was trying to get my own marketing material together and trying to get all of that out there. And then how am I going to go market a cleaning business? Well, a lot of times, especially in these businesses today, you don't have to go try to figure out how to put all your marketing pieces together. We have that, and we're going to be developing even more marketing materials for you and methods, as you'll see here in a moment. But here at American Business Systems, you're going to have all of these marketing materials given to you as part of your entire package. There's no extra cost for any of this. And we're talking about nice, heavy poundage paper, nice, slick, glossy paper. And not only do you get that, you're actually going to get your name, your contact information directly printed on these marketing pieces for every one of these. That's part of what you're getting here at ABS. So imagine that you've got all these branded looking slicks here, and your brand will be on that flyer there as well. That's a big help for you, that you don't have to figure out, oh my goodness, do I need to go buy a laser printer? Do I need to go out to Staples and get those, folks, y'all know what I'm talking about, getting the paper where it's a trifold brochure, and you have to print them out and then sit here at your desk and fold those out and get those ready to go hand out. All of that's done for you here as well. Nothing's outdated. Everything's updated as we grow. And when we add new services, guess what you get? You get another set of additional information on the flyer slicks. Not only do that, folks, we've got postcards that you can, actual postcards that actually will go out for you for the doctor, reminding them, hey, I'm here to help you with your revenue cycle management. How about maybe we could do a coding audit for you? Do you have a telehealth solution? If you already have a telehealth solution, what about a virtual care strategy solution? What do you have for that? Are you doing remote patient monitoring? Are you helping people with chronic care? If you've got the chronic care management, those are some of the other areas that we're going to help you open up there. Not only do we have that, we also have a book, a real book. I don't know if I've got one up here in. I just moved into my office here. I just put new bookshelves up here. And folks, this is a real bookshelf. I mean, people have asked me on other meetings, online meetings, is that one of those virtual things out there? No, this actual. I could reach up there and grab that book back over there. But we have a book here called the New Thriving Medical Practice. Now, the interesting thing about this is that you get to be on the cover as yourself. So you can see here, you'll see right down there where it says the forward of Susan Smith. Well, we're going to replace your name with Susan Smith. We're going to replace your name with her name there. And if you'd like to, we're even going to let you kind of reformat, or if you would like to rewrite the forward, get that to us. We'll make sure that it fits what the rest of the book is. We'll make sure that we tweak it with you. And how about that? You actually wrote the forward to the book. Now, it's written by Patrick Phillips and Dr. Vicki Rackner. Some of you that were on the webinar last week, you may have talked and listened to Dr. Vicki Rackner. But imagine you being part of a book and having this as part of one of your marketing methods. So, folks, we know of a couple of licensees at the beginning of COVID that actually could not get out. Everything was locked down. Everybody knows that. But yet they started sending these books out to doctors. One individual sent out 5 books, ended up getting 3 appointments and closing 2 of those. Now, that was out without any other type of marketing. That was what happened here. So utilizing the marketing methods that are part of the American Business Systems, again, this is all part of the systems, That's what you're going to need there. And again, you'll see right on front of the book that you get that printed out there for you. Obviously, COVID's changed everything. How do you market to doctors now? What are the marketing methods for doctors or to doctors now? Believe me, we've got licensees here that have been with us 10, 15 plus years. They're still marketing to doctors. And so guess what? You get all of their expertise of what they're doing added to all of your support for you learning how to market directly to doctors without having to go visit them. So in your training class, you're going to hear about those new methods of marketing, new ways that we're trying to teach you how to market. We're actually going to spend some time with you on what you need to do on your LinkedIn page, how to build that Facebook page, how to get your Google business going now. Because again, everything's virtual. If medicine is going virtual, we've got to go virtual. And so if we're going to be in virtual care, we need to be in virtual marketing too as well. We've got the expertise behind that. We're going to help you out with that as best we can. So Irving, hopefully this is showing you some of the things that we're doing to help you get that first client as best as we can. All right. Another fear that you need to overcome is having more than just one product or one service. You could, again, go out there and go start your business in medical billing and just that's all you do, and that's the best thing you can be at. That's okay with me if that's all you want to be able to do. But with ABS, you've got all these different services. Again, we can pivot very, very, very fast and add a new service when needed. Believe me, whenever COVID happened, even though that there were some licensees that were, some of our licensees that were already doing billing for doctors and utilizing our iClaim EMRX platform, and they were able to help those doctors get their telehealth up and running through the system, guess what? There were some people out there that actually needed a telehealth platform that may not be using the iClaim platform right at first. So we were able to pivot and add a new solution, a very standalone solution for telehealth. Now, all of that's changed there too, because the government opened up to where the doctors could use Zoom and all sorts of stuff like that. So we've been able to adapt new parts of telehealth and again, moving into virtual care. Let me share with you, there is not another revenue cycle management business opportunity out there that is on the cusp of what is the new part of medicine, and that is virtual care, like ABS is. We are already working with our licensees and getting some of their doctors already helping their patients with what's called virtual care. We don't have it on here because it's pretty new, but let me share with you what that's all about. Virtual care is just helping the doctors manage and remotely manage their patients from home via a virtual care system. We're going to get into a lot of that a lot in the future, but someone like Irvin who's saying, how does ABS help me get that first client? We're going to teach you how to use Audit Guard, CodeWrite, virtual care, iClaim, EMRX, ChoicePay, AutoCard, telehealth, whatever it's going to take to get your foot in the door, get a dialogue going, get the support back there to help you. All of our service lines that we have here are all supported by subject matter experts that many of these will do a demo for you, help you close that deal. Folks, there's nothing better out there in the marketplace at the price point of where ABS is that gives you so much support and so many different options for you to go out there and do something completely different than just being a medical billing company. That's why we certify you as a certified revenue medical company. So that's what you need to be able to have at your fingertips. And that will help start to eliminate some of the fear as you're trying to figure out how to start a new business. Because if you're just a one-man show, you're playing just the guitar, you don't have the full band behind you, you're not going to be invited to a lot of concerts to play for them. But if you've got an entire orchestra, because that's what ABS is, imagine you got the full effect of an entire orchestra behind you. Now you've got so many ways to be able to help those doctors, and some of the ways that can literally add 15 to 20 to up to $40,000 more a month in revenue, really sometimes without even doing the billing for some of those doctors. And we'll get into a lot of that here in the near future, kind of share some of it with you. All right, let me get back over here. So Cynthia's saying, so do we need to have okay, you've already answered that question there. Okay, question came in about continuing on support. How comprehensive is the training? Is it just webinars, or do we get someone to talk to? Irvin, you're going to have a one-on-one trainer. So just think of it be like you and I. So instead of it being a webinar, it would be you're able to talk to me, I'm able to talk to you. It's not, I won't be doing your training. They've got some other folks that can help you do your training. But just imagine it would be online. I'd see your photo or your video, you'd see mine, we'd be talking back and forth. So that would be what you're going to need to do. Let's talk about mistake number 7. And folks, this is really getting into what I would call the psychological side of trying to make a decision and overcoming your fear. Outside of everybody else that's out there, like this lady is to this guy right now, of saying to him, you can't do this. We already know that we have a lot of naysayers out there that tell us. But I'm going to tell you, the one that probably speaks the loudest is you. You're the one that probably keeps you from doing what you want to try to do. So stop listening to what we call dream stealers. Now, Patrick wrote a book, and there are some things that he wrote in that book, and I'm going to show that book to you here in just a moment. But you know, these are things that either you hear someone else tell you, or you're telling yourself. Number one, you're not good enough. And I think, folks, we've lived in the last few years of society, probably people telling that more to us, and we actually started believing it, and now we're telling ourselves that. Folks, I think you are good enough. If you're on this webinar today, I'm going to tell you, you're good enough already, because you're investing at least an hour of your time with me right before Thanksgiving. To me, those that are on this call right now, I take any of you right now and say, okay, we can go make this thing happen together. Because you're investing your time, your energy in trying to figure out what you'd like to do. So let's say right here, you are good enough. Number 2, people say you're not smart enough. And guess what? You start believing that you say you're not smart enough. But I'm going to tell you, I believe you are smart enough, because you're here on this webinar today and you're listening to some of the things I'm telling you. Now, you don't have to believe me. You can actually get with your ABS rep that you've been working with here and talk to some other licensees. Believe me, they've heard those first two things, that you're not good enough and you're not smart enough, but yet they've outsmarted all of their friends, all of their families in a lot of areas. Number 3, you're not capable enough to succeed. Some of you may have heard that as a child, maybe as a teenager, maybe even as an adult, and it may be even as recently as this last week. But again, is that coming from somebody else, or is that coming from you? I think you are capable enough to succeed, because again, you're here on the webinar today. And just because you're on the webinar tells me that you are good enough, you are smart enough, and you are capable enough to succeed. Now, the biggest thing is, are you willing to push through all those fears and get something going? As I said, Patrick has written a book here, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success. Now, I didn't say all that to sell a book here. You can go get this book out there on the internet. But I'm going to tell you something I don't think Patrick is going to mind me saying. But I tell you what, if you're on this call today, I think we have an electronic copy of this book. So get with your ABS rep, see if you can get a copy of this, and we'll get you a copy of this, because I think that you just need to help you understand that sometimes we have listened not to naysayers, we've listened to us as our own naysayers. Patrick wrote this book. When he wrote this book, he wrote it with you in mind, but he also wrote it with himself in mind. So he himself had to change his own thinking for his own success. So we want to encourage you to either get a hold of this book somehow, some way, and we'll see if there's a way that we can get it to you. How about that? We'll do that. So just get back with your ABS rep. Say, hey, Eric mentioned something about how to reprogram yourself for success. There may be a digital copy of that. we'll see what we can do to get you that. That would be our way of giving thanks back to you for you being on the webinar. How about that? That's pretty good. So we'll see about getting that to you. Number 8, ignoring the windows of opportunity. You're thinking, okay, Eric, how in the world is this whole COVID thing, how is this an opportunity? Let me share with you, some of the biggest companies that are out there in the market today actually started during downtimes or during what we call in the business world major disruptions. There's no doubt that COVID this year has been an incredible disruption. But let me tell you what's coming out of it. Telehealth is coming out of it. Virtual care medicine is coming out of it. More things are coming at it to help remotely monitor people's health. You have it, some of you may already have it on your wrist already. It's called an iWatch or some other type of smart watch system that you might have. But folks, those are getting better and more data is being collected to help people stay healthier. Folks, let me just share a personal story with you. For the last 15 years of my life and my wife's life, we've been my in-laws' caretakers. And one of the biggest struggles that we had was making sure that their group of doctors that they were seeing were all basically on the same page. And let me tell you what COVID's done. COVID has actually helped get more doctors talking together. And because of that, there's a great opportunity here at ABS to see that even greater. And the reason I say that for you is because there are many other doctors that are talking with other doctors that said they need help financially. And I'm going to promise you, going into 2021, this is an incredible opportunity for you to start seeing what you can do to help doctors financially. Again, with their billing, with their revenue cycle management, with all these other services that we have. Now is a great opportunity. Don't take that for granted. I just pulled this up. Look at the date here, November 24th, 2020. Surveys finds increased utilization of what? What I've been kind of tapping in and just dripping to you a little bit of virtual care. Virtual care medicine is on the horizon. It's increasing, and guess what? ABS is right at the beginning of it. Patrick used to say, we're on the bleeding edge of technology. I remember whenever we just launched iClaim and EMRX, and we knew at that point we were on the cusp of the bleeding edge of technology because of just what it was able to do with the clearinghouse and everything else was going on because that was all embedded in there. And we had the telehealth already in there. Folks, you don't want to be behind the curve, you want to be in front of the curve. ABS is doing that with all its different services. So whether it's medical billing, whether it's the revenue cycle management, whether it's coding, whether it's the audits that are going on, whether it's some of the marketing that's going on, everything that ABS is doing is there to help you because we want you to succeed. Number 9 mistake that you want to eliminate as you start a new business. Limit your clientele and your marketing territory. You don't want to limit where you can market or your clientele. Let me share with you what your territory looks like. It's the entire United States. Again, we were virtual care medicine revenue cycle management group prior to whenever it was cool. That's the way I like to put it. Because ABS was doing such cross state lines of doing revenue cycle management. So it doesn't matter if you live in Florida and you've got a doctor in Arizona, or you live in California and you've got a doctor back in New Jersey, or if you're in New Jersey and you got a doctor in New Jersey, it doesn't matter. You can do medical revenue cycle management anywhere, from anywhere, because again, remember why? It goes all the way back to not selecting the wrong technology. Our technology is a cloud-based technology. So because of that, you can work from anywhere, live anywhere, do revenue cycle management from anywhere. Doesn't matter where you live, whether you want to market in your own hometown, across the state lines, wherever you want to be, your marketing territory is huge. And so you don't want to limit your clientele through all that. Lastly, number 10, we're getting close to it, and I'll take some time just to answer some of your questions as we kind of start wrapping up here. The last thing you want to think about today, and the mistakes that a lot of people make, and it gets them fearing starting a new business, is undercharging are underestimating the profit potential. Now, 2 weeks ago, Patrick and I did a webinar on what the kind of revenue that you can make, and we want to make sure that you're charging properly. And usually, one of the first things that people ask us here at ABS is, what do I need to charge? Do I charge 3%? Do I charge 6%? Do I charge 12% on my billing? We're going to help you drive that down, and we're going to show you. I'm going to show you how to do that. We have what's called a practice analysis questionnaire. This is one of the key things that you're going to want to just take in a little bit. So as we kind of start wrapping up here, just listen to me briefly. When you're out marketing and you're starting to talk with doctors, usually the first thing they're going to ask you when you start talking about their revenue cycle management is they're going to ask you, what do you charge to do billing? Now, I know what they're asking. They're wanting to see if you're going to be cheaper than what they already have. So know that in mind already. So know that whenever that doctor starts asking you, well, Sally, how much do you charge? Or Cynthia, how much do you charge? Or Steve, how much do you charge to do my billing? The real question is that they're asking, are you going to be cheaper than what I'm doing billing for already? If you answer any question, whatever, if you say 6%, oh, they're going to say, oh, I get mine done for 4%. If you say 7%, oh, they're going to say, oh, I've already get mine done for 5%. What are they trying to do? They're trying to get you to come down. The question that you need to ask back to the doctor is, do you really know what you're being charged whenever it comes down to your billing? And one of the things you just need to say, you know what, doctor, I really don't know what to charge you until I do an analysis on your revenue cycle management. And just say simply, doctor, what if I came in today and said, hey, I've got this pain somewhere in my body, but before I can see you, what are you going to charge me to look me over? And the doctor's going to say, I don't know what's wrong with you. I don't even know what to charge you. Remember, because going back early in our conversation, the doctor's going to find a diagnosis, what's wrong with you, and then they're going to do a procedure, right? And those procedures is what it comes down to the amount. Well, guess what we've got to do? Doctor, I don't know what your diagnosis is whenever it comes to your revenue cycle management. How do I know what to charge you? I don't know what procedures I need to do. You start talking to a doctor like that, it won't take them long to figure out, okay, this person's a little different. They just didn't plop out a percentage. They're talking the same language I would say. Oh, they said, I don't know what you're diagnosed with your finances, and I got to get through the proper procedures before I can even get you to the right proper pricing models. So how about we do this, doctor? How about if I do very similar to what you do when you see a patient? Because, I got to find out what's going on with you. I got to see what problems you may have. I need to kind of do some questions. I got to do some discovery. And then I'd like to get back to you what I might propose. Well, when you go through these questions here, you're going to be able to come out with that. And then you're going to take those answers and plop them into this practice revenue report. Then you can see here, as you kind of start reading through this, we've got down here at the very bottom, it's kind of bolded. I'm going to blow that up a little bit for you because you can see that. So let's say that you found out the number of claims that they file monthly. You can see how much their claims they're charging per claim. You can see what their rejection rate is. You can see how much they're being charged for their billing staff or their software and everything. Calculate all that out. Put your calculations in there. And I'm going to tell you where you see that they're at the very bottom where it's coming out to $10,000 a month. Well, that's a 58% increase. Do you know what you're actually charging that doctor there for billing? It's about 7%. Okay, so you can see we've eliminated the percentage, and what we're showing the doctor here is actually how much more money they're going to make by utilizing someone like you. Are you going to tell me a doctor's going to go, I don't want that $10,000? Believe me, they're going to look at it. If you can add another $10,000 or increase my revenue by up to $10,000 a month, I want to know, how did you get from 17,500 to 27,702? You see, that's the difference. And that's with our percentage, or your percentage, baked into the total cost of outsourcing, $2,058. So that that's what that comes out to. That's about I think it's either 6 or 7% right there. but you're increasing the doctor's revenue. Why are you doing that? Well, you're eliminating the rejected claims. You can see up there. You're getting claims out in a cleaner fashion. You're getting speed out there. You're getting that, and you're adding a lot of wasted revenue out there. Again, we've got all these different models out here using the doctor's current system versus using the ABS billing specialists. This kind of goes back to one of the questions earlier. Do the doctors stay with their current system, or do they do it with ABS? What would you do? Look at the numbers here. This is actual numbers that was done on a cardiologist. This was really what happened here. I mean, do you want to have an increased revenue of about 41% more, another $500,000 a year by utilizing an ABS licensee? Of course you would. Anybody would. So that's what I'm saying. If we focus too much on just the numbers there, then we're going to lose it. Folks, I am at the top of the hour. I cannot believe this hour has gone by so quickly. Hopefully you've gotten a lot of information, and I might save a little bit of time to take some of your questions. So your online training is a direct online training, as you can see right here. As I close out, we're trying to give you best at no risk as possible. So we're the only medical billing training company in the United States that offers a 100% money back guarantee. How can we do that? Is because we believe in what we have, everything I've shared with you to how to overcome your fear in getting started. Yes, you have to sign the agreement. Yes, you have to pay up front. Get yourself through the training. If you've listened to all these webinars, you sit through your training week, or however long it's going to be, and at the end of that training, you feel like this is not the business for you, simply get your money back. There is not another entrepreneurial business opportunity out there that after training will offer you the money back. There's not. Go find one. We're the only company that does that. Have we done that? Yes. Because again, we want to be fair with everybody. We want to make sure this is the right business for you. What risk do you have to take? Because at the end of that week, you're really, really, really going to know if this is right for you. Take us up on our offer. Try us. Put us at risk. We're willing to do that for you. That's why Patrick has offered the 100% money back guarantee. As he said on other webinars, the staff here at ABS thought he was just plumb crazy. But you know what? It's worked. Because Patrick wants to be fair. Patrick doesn't want you, or Adam doesn't want you for you to stay here and not be happy with what you got from us here at ABS. So make sure that you've done all of your due diligence. So what are some of your next steps, what you need to do after maybe this webinar? Go out there, download the researchable guide that you can get that online here at ABS, adsystems.com. Go out to our YouTube channel, youtube.com, and watch these other videos, webinars that we've done. If you didn't get to watch Dr. Rackner from last week, go watch that one. You got some time this weekend. You got a 4-day weekend. Go out there and kind of watch some of that stuff out there. Take advantage. Remember, invest some time in yourself and do some of your due diligence. Get back with your ABS rep and get that reference list. Start making some phone calls. Talk to people that have been here 1 year, 2 years, 15 years. Talk with some of those licensees that are out there. Get that demo done. I cannot stress enough to you. If you watch one, get another one done so you can really feel like you've got a good opportunity of what the iClaim system and the EMRX system has done. Then once you've done all of that, you've invested all of that time, all of that effort, whenever it's time for you, pull up those documents there, read through the licensing agreement. See in there that you get the 100% money back guarantee if you're not satisfied after the end of training. Get that in, you'll see it right in writing, and then lock yourself in for your online training. Now, folks, what do we have here? About 6 more weeks of the year of 2020. Get it done. I think there's some time slots here that you can actually get into and start getting your training done over the next few weeks. And as you're starting 2021, you're off and running. So don't wait. Don't let that window of opportunity pass you by. Okay, so give us a call here at 866-565-8413. That's 866-565-8413. Talk with some of your reps here.